All right, well, welcome to the Rio Grande Valley, Deep South Texas cold and wintry precipitation, or I should say cold and wintry weather briefing this afternoon. So this is our first briefing in terms of webinar. We'll be doing one more tomorrow afternoon at the same time. So be ready for that, and please do sign up because we will definitely have a few changes in store, but we'll also be pretty much locked into the situation that we're going to describe starting this afternoon. So here are the bottom lines. First, sharp change. Temperatures today, as you feel, are in the middle 80s, quite a balmy day, well above average for January, but that's about to drop like a stone. And by tomorrow afternoon at around this time, 2 to 3 o'clock, we'll be feeling 50 degrees colder. That's the first and foremost thing to be aware of. Feels like temperatures will fall even further overnight on Thursday into Friday morning. They will end up between 20 and 25, probably from midnight to around 9 a.m. Friday, and then we'll struggle to get into the 30s during the day on Friday. So Friday will be the coldest feeling day of the next two. The other concern is the wintry precipitation. We are expecting a mix of ice, which is rain freezing on contact, and sleet, that's melted snow that refreezes before reaching the ground. We're expecting that to develop across the Rio Grande Plains, brush country, and the Brooks, Kenedy, northern Hidalgo, inland Willacy farm and ranch country, beginning late Thursday evening and continuing through mid-morning on Friday. And farther south across the populated Rio Grande Valley, we have a possibility for icing, perhaps even mixing with sleet between 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. Friday. So everyone's got a shot at this wintry precipitation event. And finally, we have gale warnings for the Gulf of Mexico for strong winds and rough and high seas beginning first thing Thursday and continuing right on through Friday. So here's your timeline. Starting with Thursday, the details. Sharply colder, feels like temperatures in the low to mid-30s by 3 p.m. and perhaps as low as 30 by sunset. We'll see some patchy light rain or drizzle behind the front. Beware of possible slick roads from the oil buildup combined with that light rain or drizzle. By Thursday night, we start getting into the wintry precipitation, but through 10 p.m., we think most of it will be cold rain. An upper-level disturbance moving across the northern Mexico and southern plains area will help to produce a steadier precipitation event. That cold rain will develop through 9 or 10 p.m. It feels like temperatures will fall below Thursday. Overall, a miserable night. But starting around 9, 10 p.m., rain will mix with or change to ice and sleet across the Zapata through Kenedy County area. Could start as early as 7 p.m. We'll show that in another slide. And then light icing and sleet possible into the populated Rio Grande Valley, mainly along and north of I-2, between 3 and 6 a.m. Friday morning. So this is the overnight Thursday night period, with feels like temperatures dropping to 20 to 25 degrees after midnight. As for Friday, that wintry precipitation will taper off or end by 9 a.m., potentially, though, as late as noon, especially in the lower valley. Feels like temperatures will rise slowly. In fact, we will probably still feel like we're in the 20s to around 30 all the way until noon, and only get into the low to mid-30s during the afternoon, with actual temperatures struggling to get at or just above 40 soon after lunchtime. So it's going to be a pretty chilly day all around on Friday. So graphically, let's talk about the sharp change out there right now. It feels like low to mid-80s across the entire region. At the same time, tomorrow around 3 p.m., it will feel like 35 degrees overall and lower 30s across the ranches, which in all areas is a 50-degree difference. With the actual temperatures falling from the 80s today, they are pretty similar right now to the feels like temperature. Tomorrow, though, will be in the 40s. So the actual temperatures are falling 40 degrees as well. The coldest temperatures for the event will be Friday morning, with a forecast minimum wind chill at the upper teens across the northern ranches, all the way into the low to mid-20s across the valley. And those morning low temperatures will range from the upper 20s to around 30 across the ranches, lower 30s near freezing into parts of the valley, and some of the urban areas like McAllen and Brownsville should stay just above freezing on Friday morning. But note, could be locally colder in some of these locations that drain cold air along Interstate 2 from Star through Cameron County. So here's your wintry precipitation summary, a couple of graphics you can view. From Zapata County, including northern Star and Hidalgo in the pink-colored areas, best opportunity exists across the entire deep South Texas region for ice accretion, meaning grass, trees, and power lines and elevated roads, as well as some sleet. The confidence in this wintry mix is medium-high, and the timing right now is looking like midnight to 10 a.m. on Friday morning, but we buffer that back to as early as 9 to 10 p.m. on Thursday night and through noon on Friday, January 21st. For the Rio Grande Valley in the purple areas, icing and some sleet possible, most likely in the cold drainage locations that include Southern Star, West Flaco to Harlingen and northward, and Hidalgo County north of the Edinburgh-Alton area. Confidence is low to medium down here in the valley because of the nature of the air mass being maybe just not cold enough to get here, but we don't want to take any chances for your preparedness activities. Timing being 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Friday morning, but we buffer that back to as early as midnight and as late as 11 a.m. January 21st as a reasonable worst-case scenario. So in summary, your threat levels for the cold and wintry precipitation, cold is highest in the red as this bar touches. Wintry precipitation, due to that confidence factor and the marginal temperatures, is on the moderate line, particularly up to our northern areas from Zapata to Kenedy. Boating, of course, is a significant hazard with the gale warnings in effect, but rainfall will not be that much of an issue. In fact, where it does rain, it's welcome. And the better rainfall will be in the areas that have seen most of it in the last several months, which is the lower and mid-valley. So key takeaways. This will be the coldest period of the 2021-2022 winter so far, but will not be a repeat of the February 14th to 2021 damaging and destructive outbreak of cold air. We're not seeing that here. In fact, this will be more like what we saw in January 2018, on January 2nd, and again around January 16th and 17th. That 16th and 17th event is actually a reasonable worst case scenario event. January 2nd may be more like what we actually see here. And on that day, we had some light icing across places like West Flaco and North Harlingen, and a mix of freezing rain and some sleet across the northern ranches. People, pets, plants should be prepared to be protected. Yes, alliteration on purpose there. From the cold beginning early Thursday for people and continuing through Thursday night and Friday, adding the plants and pets factor as we see temperatures get near or just below freezing in a number of areas. The cold weather will continue through Saturday morning, so be prepared to bundle up for 36 hours here with this event. Motorists planning travel that may include elevated roads and bridges should postpone those trips beginning Thursday evening through midday Friday, again, especially from Zapata through Kenedy County, which includes Zapata, Hebronville, Valforias, and Sarita. Minor power outages are likely, mainly due to the heavy use of heating and some stress on the grid from that. There might be some issues due to icing, again, from the Hebronville, Valforias, Sarita area, possibly down to Zapata. But again, this will not be a repeat of the February 2021 killing freeze and power outage brownout situation. This is not going to be that way, but don't be surprised to see a few minor events locally across the region. The remainder of the talk will dedicate to some safety prepares and precautions. This graphic is, and these are also in the slides that you've received, so I'm not going to dwell on them very long. We want everyone to be safe using space heaters. That will be common beginning tomorrow morning and continuing through at least Saturday morning. People should be dressing for the cold, and the way we're looking at it based on this graphic here is Thursday will be chilly starting in the morning and become cold through the afternoon. These are the kind of clothing items that people should have in mind. Thursday night through Saturday morning will be cold, and then Saturday will revert back to chilly as temperatures slowly rise back into the 50s, which is still well below the average for this time of year. Because it will be so cold when you combine the temperature and the wind chill, or in the wind, we want people to be aware of hypothermia signs, particularly if those wind chills do drop below 25 degrees. So these are the signs for people to watch, and we really hope that folks on the line are preparing shelters for folks that may not have a safe, warm place to be during this event that starts tomorrow morning and continues through Saturday morning. Driving is a critical factor too. We want to start with the Thursday event, which is light rain after a long dry stretch. Oil and debris can accumulate on roads, and that light rain will not be enough to wash it away, but it will be enough to wet the roads. So people heading out tomorrow just need to be aware of those slick spots and follow all the safety tips listed here. However, as we get into Thursday night, into early Friday morning, we're talking about the wintry precipitation of icing that can happen, not only on the roads, but on the vehicles, and as well as potentially sleet buildup. So be aware if you're driving out there as we head into Thursday night late and into Friday morning. But don't forget about Thursday either with the light rain. And finally, pets. Don't forget your furry friends. Dangerous weather for any pets left outside. Here's our temperature forecast again. So really be prepared to bring them in tomorrow morning, no later than noon, and kind of keep them there right on through Saturday morning. We want to add a couple more things related to specific items near the coast. We have seen in past events like this, when temperatures fall dramatically, we add a little bit of light rain to it. We get issues with pelicans getting hung up along the Gaiman Bridge on State Highway 48 headed between the Port of Brownsville and Port Isabel. So we really want people to be careful. This event will begin as early as late afternoon Thursday and continue through mid-morning Friday. So let your motorists know to slow down. There may be people out there to help here. In past events without the protections, we've lost hundreds of pelicans. We hopefully can keep that value to a minimum. But this is a classic setup. It's a little late in the season, but the meteorological setup is right on target from what we've seen in past unfortunate events. And finally, sea turtles. While we're not looking at a repeat of last February when we had over 10,000 rescues of sea turtles all up and down the Texas coast, we do think we might see the water temperature dip to near 50 degrees, particularly in the lower Laguna Madre in Cameron County, starting Friday and continuing through Saturday morning. There's also a small chance of impacts along the immediate shoreline where we might see the near shore or surf temperatures drop to around 55 during those same time windows. So again, temperatures are not going to fall to the upper 30s to lower 40s and really stun the turtles like they did in 2021. But we've had some minor rescue issues before with these kind of cold fronts in the past. So be aware of that, and hopefully we don't have too many turtle rescues, but we may need them during this event. So next briefing will be overnight, possibly by email, but we'll definitely be having a webinar on Thursday, January 20th.